So why is it so hard to get out of quicksand? Is it a solid? Is it a liquid? Can it be both? In this activity, you will make a substance that is similar to quicksand, but much more fun. Play around with it and find out how it acts differently from a normal liquid and a normal solid. Other more familiar substances change states, which just means that they're changing from a solid to a liquid to a gas and back. When we change temperature, okay, so such as freezing water, ice turns to liquid water, and then I can watch it turn into a gas by boiling it away into steam. But this mixture shows how I can apply a change in pressure instead of a change in temperature and change the state of matter. So applying pressure to the mixture increases its viscosity, thickness. A quick tap on the surface of Oobleck will make it feel hard because it forces the cornstarch particles together. But dip your hand slowly into the mix and see what happens. Your fingers slide in as easily as through water. Moving slowly gives the cornstarch particles time to move out of the way. Oobleck and other pressure-dependent substances, such as silly putty and quicksand, are not liquids such as water or oil. They are known as non-Newtonian fluids, so not like Newton. This substance's funny name comes from a Dr. Seuss book called Bartholomew and the Oobleck. So materials you need: some water, some cornstarch, a mixing bowl, and you can add food coloring. So to start, if you're getting set up, you want to roll up any sleeves and prepare to be messy. Like I said, Oobleck is easy to clean up, but it does make something of a mess. So you want to try to contain that mess as much as possible so that you don't have to clean up so much. Make sure all your materials are laid out. So I have a lot of cornstarch here. I have more than a cup of cornstarch. And if you have cornstarch at home, yeah, you wouldn't want to eat Oobleck. No. Can you actually get out of quicksand if you go slowly? So you can't really get out on your own, because if you're going slowly, then you'll just keep sinking. That's why somebody else needs to get you out. But yeah, if somebody gets you out, they actually need to not be like jerky with it. So if you have felt, so if you've felt cornstarch before, it is very super fine particles, super fine. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off my, well, Alexis, you're in trouble. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off my my sharing thing, and you can read the setup and preparation on your own. Yeah, you can do a half recipe, Emma. Okay, so super fine particles, super fine. And so I have my cornstarch here in my bowl. And what I'm going to, if you are using food coloring, you'll want to add the food coloring to your water. Okay, so you want to add the food coloring to your water. Don't add all the, my computer's going to be such a mess. Don't add all the food color, don't add all the water at once. You want to add it kind of in bits, okay? So if you have a whole cup of water, don't add the whole cup all at once, because you might end up not needing as much water. It is a little bit closer, I think, to a 2-to-1 ratio. So like 2 cups of cornstarch to 1 cup of water. So what do you mean, what about water, Abdullah? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add some of my water, and I have a wooden spoon to stir some stuff up. And so you can look my blob, whoops, my blob that I am making so far. Okay, so already I can see it's pretty solid right now. Okay, so I'm going to add more liquid. I'm going to add more liquid together. Here we go. Okay, you can kind of see how it's like melting in, which is weird. And it's still hard, but like it looks all weird and jiggly. Okay, I'm going to add some more water. And it's weird because like it's all, the water like is just sort of sitting on top. So I need to get all this cornstarch mixed in. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and so see how it's sort of liquidy falling? There's a blob. Can you see? Oh, it's just to make it fun, Abdullah. Whoops. So here I have my drips. I'm gonna make such a mess. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and reach into this now. And so you can see how it's like dripping out of my hands because it's liquidy. But it's actually very hard. So I can't stick my spoon in. Okay, so I'm gonna try to stir, I'm gonna try to like mix this up a little bit more. Okay. And so here I can squeeze it out through my hands. But there's like just a chunk of it. But as I hold it, it like melts. Okay, so can somebody tell me what some of those things are that I want to be able to test? What are some of those things that I want to test? Can you type it in the chat? I think so. Okay, so what are some of those things from the Oobleck directions in Science Google Classroom?
Can you punch it?
Yep. Okay, so I'm going to, there, that was a good kind of drop. Okay, so you can see how my hands look like they're all wet. But they don't feel that wet. Okay. So you can see how it looks like liquid. Okay. So it looks like liquid. I just have a bunch of liquid in my bowl. So it looks like I have weird green soup. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and punch it. So it doesn't work. I cannot do anything to it. Okay, if I take my wooden spoon back, it's also extremely hard, but I can stick my spoon in. Okay, this is a fun thing to do, so let your spoon sink in slowly. Okay, and you can even slowly stir it. Now try to yank your spoon out. I can lift up the whole bowl. So if I slowly let it sink in, but I try to yank my spoon out. You can do the same thing with your hand. So if I slowly lower my hand in, it feels like my hand is just totally in liquid, just like in a liquid bath. But I'm going to try to yank my hand out. I can lift up the whole bowl.
Pistos, Lucy asks, can Oobleck break your fall?
There are massive amounts of like people can make these huge vats of Oobleck and then run across them. You can YouTube it. Okay, so I can make a fist of it, but as I do that, it just sort of keeps melting. Okay, does anyone have a specific thing that they would like me to do? I cannot read the chat, so if you type it, Mr. Lee, if you can say it out loud. If somebody types something. Or you can raise your hand if you can call on you.
Hannah typed, someone made a pool of Oobleck. Caroline said, whoa.
Thank you. Okay, so would anyone like me to test anything else out with this? So we did our spoon, wooden spoon going in. need. Okay, anything else you want me to I'm not going to eat it, Kaylee. No. It does not taste good. It's just cornstarch is like terrible. Okay? So there's really nothing like actually playing with it. It feels absolutely fascinating. Yeah, they're very similar, Alexis, quicksand and oobleck. And cornstarch is super cheap. It's like 99 cents for a box of it, and then the water comes out of your sink. So Oobleck is a very cheap science experiment. Okay. So you can see how I can like grab a section and like lift it out, and then sort of like I can even hit the oobleck against itself. Okay, so if you are messing with oobleck at home because you made it, I would love for you to either show us your oobleck or just talk about it. So you might need to rinse off your hands first to do that. But if you have made oobleck at home, I would love to hear from you. So just if you can rinse off a hand, at least one hand, so you can touch your computer, and then raise your hand so we can hear from you. Push the cornstarch into the water as you pour the water in. If it's too liquidy, then you might need more cornstarch. So like what's weird is that mine is all the same consistency throughout, but it feels like as if all the cornstarch fell to the bottom when I am reaching into my bowl. It feels as if all the cornstarch is at the bottom, and I have to like claw it up, and it seems like all of the liquid is on top, but it's not. Okay, so oobleck is, like we said, it is a non-Newtonian fluid. So I want to, Tuesday, we did some experiments with surface tension of water. So I have a question. Does oobleck have a higher surface tension or a lower surface tension than water? What do you think? Higher or lower? Higher or lower surface tension? If you can type, then you can type.
Yeah, go ahead, Sterling.
I agree with Savannah that it does have a higher one, because I think because if the bug like goes on slowly, it'll sink. But since I used to live on a pond in Florida. I lived there, and we saw all of those like little not mosquitoes, but the little water bugs, and they moved really fast. I'm assuming that like the way that the water was, not the oobleck, but like if there was some sort of thing in the pond that made it like act like oobleck, or the way that they move like as quickly as it takes to do that.
Yeah, so higher. It has a higher surface tension.